The cruel experiment. The arena was silent. Cold metal walls rose high on all sides, glowing with soft blue lights. Above the arena, behind thick transparent glass, the Galactic Council watched closely. Many different alien species sat in curved seats, their eyes sharp, their faces full of interest. In the center of the arena stood a single human child. She was small. She was thin. She was only 8 years old. Her name did not matter to the aliens. To them, she was just a human subject. 2 tall alien guards pushed her forward. The floor felt cold under her bare feet. She looked around slowly, her dark eyes taking in the strange place. Machines hummed softly. Red symbols flashed on the walls. This was not a place for mercy. One of the aliens laughed. Humans are fragile, it said. Humans break easily. Other aliens nodded. They had seen humans before. Small bodies, soft skin, loud emotions, easy prey. The girl did not cry. That surprised them. At the far end of the arena, a massive door began to open with a deep, heavy sound. The noise echoed through the chamber like thunder. The girl turned her head. Something moved in the darkness behind the door. The aliens leaned forward in their seats. "This is our fiercest predator," an alien scientist announced. "An albino hunter. No mercy, no fear." The door opened fully. The albino cat stepped into the light. It was huge, much larger than any animal the girl had ever seen. Its fur was pure white, almost glowing. Its eyes were red and cold, like burning embers. Long scars crossed its body, proof of many battles. Its claws scratched the metal floor with a sharp sound. This creature had killed warriors from many worlds. It had never failed. The aliens expected screaming. They expected the girl to run. They expected blood. Instead, the girl stood still. Her hands were shaking, but she did not move away. The cat lifted its head and looked at her. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the cat began to walk forward. Each step was slow, heavy, calm. It knew there was no danger to itself. The girl was small, weak, easy. Above the arena, the alien smiled. "This will be quick," one said. The cat stopped only a few steps away from the girl. It lowered its head and growled softly. The sound was deep and dangerous. The girl swallowed hard. Then, slowly, she did something no one expected. She sat down on the floor. Gasps filled the observation chamber. "Is she broken?" one alien asked. The girl hugged her knees close to her chest. Her breathing was fast, but she forced herself to stay calm. She remembered something her mother once told her. Animals feel fear. They smell it. They hear it. The girl looked at the cat, not into its eyes, but just below them. She did not challenge it. She did not beg. She whispered very softly, "It's okay. I won't hurt you." The translator drones floating near the arena instantly translated her words into alien language. The aliens froze. The cat stopped growling. Its ears twitched. It stepped closer. Now the girl could see its sharp teeth. One bite would end everything. Her heart was pounding so hard it hurt. Still, she did not scream. She slowly raised one hand. The guard shouted from above, "Stop her! Pull her back!" But the shield around the arena stayed closed. This was an experiment. The girl's hand trembled as she held it out, palm open. The cat sniffed the air. It leaned forward. The aliens held their breath. The cat's nose came close to the girl's fingers. Seconds passed. Nothing happened. The cat did not attack. It circled her once, slow and careful, its tail moving gently. The girl stayed still like a stone. Then something impossible happened. The albino predator sat down, right in front of her. The arena went silent again, but this time it was not calm silence. It was fear. "What is happening?" an alien scientist whispered. The girl lowered her hand and rested it on the floor. She did not touch the cat yet. She just stayed there, breathing slowly. The cat watched her, not as prey, but as something else. Above them, alarms did not ring. Weapons did not fire. No blood touched the floor. The Galactic Council stared in disbelief. They had fed a human child to their fiercest monster, and the monster had refused to kill. Somewhere deep inside the station, unseen sensors began to record strange data. Not power, not weapons, something far more dangerous. Human connection. and the experiment had only just begun. The cat that refused to kill. No one spoke. The arena felt smaller now, like the walls were slowly closing in. The albino cat sat in front of the human girl, its massive body blocking her from view. Its red eyes stayed locked on her face. The Galactic Council could not understand what they were seeing. "This is impossible," one alien scientist whispered. "That creature has never spared prey." The girl stayed still. Her legs hurt from sitting on the cold floor, but she did not move. She knew one wrong action could change everything. The cat leaned forward. Several council members flinched. Weapons systems powered up quietly above the arena, tracking the cat's head, its heart, its spine. The cat lowered its nose to the girl's hair. It breathed in slowly. Scanners exploded with data. Heart rate increasing, a technician said. Adrenal response detected. But the strange thing was not the girl. It was the cat. "Its aggression level is dropping," another voice said, confused. "That's not possible." The cat stepped around the girl again, slow and careful. Its claws scraped the metal floor, sharp enough to cut armor. It paused behind her. The girl closed her eyes. Above the arena, several aliens smiled again. Now one said, "It strikes." It didn't. Instead, the cat lay down behind her, flat on the floor. Protective. The smiles vanished. The girl felt warm breath on her back. She opened her eyes slowly. The cat's body was between her and the rest of the arena, like a shield. What is this behavior?" the High Observer asked. No one answered. The girl slowly turned her head. The cat's massive eye looked back at her. It did not blink. It did not glow with hunger. It watched her like a guardian. She lifted her hand again, slower this time. No one tried to stop her. The cat did not move. Her small fingers touched the white fur on its neck. The room exploded with alarms. Contact made. End the experiment. Kill the predator now. But before any command could be executed, the cat stood up. Fast. Too fast. Its body turned toward the observation glass, and it roared. The sound shook the arena. Cracks spread across the glass shield. Council members screamed and stumbled back. The roar was not wild rage. It was warning. The cat placed itself fully in front of the girl. The message was clear. She is mine. Security drones dropped into the arena, weapons charged. Red targeting lights covered the cat's body. The girl stood up. That shocked them more than the roar. She placed both hands on the cat's side. "Please," she said, her voice shaking. "Don't hurt it." The translator repeated her words. The drones froze. "Why is the system hesitating?" the commander demanded. "Unknown command conflict," the AI responded. "Predator now classified as bonded." Bonded. The word echoed through the chamber. "That term is not in our database," the High Observer said slowly. The cat lowered its head slightly, pressing against the girl's shoulder. She wrapped her arms around its thick neck without thinking. Her body shook, but she did not let go. The scanners went wild. Emotional resonance. Neural synchronization. Behavior override. "This isn't control," a scientist whispered in fear. "This is connection." The cat growled softly again, but this time not at the girl. At the aliens. One of the council members made a terrible mistake. "Test the bond," it said coldly. "Release a second predator." The room went silent. "That could kill her," someone protested. "That is the point." Another door opened. A second creature entered the arena. Larger, darker. Its eyes burned with pure violence. The albino cat stood instantly. Its body changed. The calm was gone. This was not hunger. This was rage. The cat placed itself fully between the girl and the new predator. Its fur stood on end. A low, deadly sound came from its chest. The girl backed away slowly, fear finally breaking through. The second predator charged. The albino cat attacked. The impact was brutal. Metal bent. The arena floor cracked. The predators collided in a storm of claws and teeth. The girl screamed. "Stop," she cried. Her voice cut through the chaos. The albino cat hesitated. Just for a moment. That moment saved the girl. The second predator was dragged away by emergency fields, screaming in fury. The albino cat returned to her side, breathing hard, eyes wild, but it did not turn on her. It sat beside her, alive, loyal. The Galactic Council stared at the data in horror. Humans did not tame monsters. They were chosen by them. And this child had just proven something terrifying. The galaxy had misunderstood humans completely, and the experiment had become a threat. A human secret awakens. The arena smelled of heat and fear. Deep claw marks cut across the metal floor. Emergency lights flashed red and white. The albino cat stood beside the human girl, its chest rising and falling fast. Blood dripped from its fur, but none of it was hers. The girl was shaking, not because she was weak, because she was human. Above the arena, the Galactic Council sat in stunned silence. No one laughed now. No one spoke with confidence. This experiment is out of control, the High Observer said slowly. The scientists ignored him. Their eyes were locked on the data screens. What are these readings? One asked. This makes no sense. The screen showed waves and symbols no one could fully explain. Not strength, not weapons, not psychic power. Something older, something quiet. The human child is influencing the predator's decision center, a scientist said. But she isn't commanding it. The girl looked down at her hands. They were dirty, small, normal. She had no idea what they were talking about. The albino cat sat closer to her, its large body almost touching hers. Its red eyes never left the observation glass. It watched the aliens now, not with fear, with judgment. Security drones hovered, weapons still aimed. The system waited for a command. The girl took a slow step forward. Every alien stiffened. She's moving, someone said. The cat moved with her, like a shadow, like a guard. She's not controlling it, another scientist whispered. It's choosing her. That was worse. The High Observer stood. Begin full human scan, he ordered. I want to know what she is. Energy fields wrapped around the girl. Soft light passed over her body. The girl flinched, but the cat growled low, warning. It's only light, she whispered, more to the cat than to herself. The cat stayed still. The scan finished. The results appeared, and the room changed. No enhanced muscles, no implants, no genetic weapons. Then one line blinked on the screen. Emotional resonance, extreme. The scientists stared. That's not a weapon, one said. That's a weakness. Another scientist shook their head. No, they said quietly. That's a bridge. The High Observer felt cold. Explain. The scientists swallowed. Humans form bonds under stress faster than any known species. Not just with their own kind, but with predators. The room went silent. The albino cat suddenly lifted its head. Its ears flattened. Something was wrong. Deep inside the station, alarms began to whisper, not scream. Low alerts, restricted channels, unidentified movement, a voice reported. Multiple life signs approaching the arena. The girl felt it too. Her stomach tightened. She turned toward the dark hallway beyond the arena. The cat stood instantly. This time, it did not roar. It crouched. Hunters from the outer sectors had sensed the disturbance. Predators drawn to power, to chaos. This station is becoming a beacon, a commander said. Seal the area, the High Observer ordered. Too late. A group of alien enforcers rushed into the arena, weapons raised. They were not predators. They were soldiers. Secure the child, the commander shouted. Kill the animal, if necessary. The cat placed itself in front of the girl again. The soldiers hesitated. They had seen the data. They had seen the damage. One soldier fired. The blast hit the cat's side. The girl screamed. No! She ran to the cat, dropping to her knees. Her hands pressed against the wound. Her tears fell onto its white fur. The cat's body tensed. The lights flickered. Across the station, systems failed. What's happening? Someone shouted. The screens showed impossible readings. The girl's emotional resonance spiked. Not fear, not anger, love. The cat rose slowly, wounded but furious. It looked at the soldiers. And something changed. The girl stood too. Her voice was small, but it carried. Stop, she said. The translator echoed her word through the arena. The soldiers froze. Their weapons powered down. The station AI spoke, confused. Command override detected. Source? The High Observer demanded. The AI paused. Human emotional synchronization with bonded predator. The High Observer stepped back. This is not a child, he whispered. This is a catalyst. The cat let out a deep, echoing sound, not a roar. A call. From deep within the station, other predators answered. The walls trembled. The girl held onto the cat, terrified now, not of it, but of what was coming. The Galactic Council finally understood the truth. Humans did not conquer with force. They changed everything they touched, and the galaxy was waking up to that mistake. When the predators turned, the station shook. Lights burst overhead, spraying sparks across the arena. Sirens howled now, loud and desperate. The calm experiment was gone. This was no longer science. This was survival. The albino cat stood in front of the human girl, its white fur stained with blood. It was wounded, but it did not fall. Its red eyes burned brighter than before. The girl's hands were shaking as she pressed against its side. "I'm here," she whispered. "I won't leave." The words were small, but the cat heard them. Across the station, doors slammed open by force. Heavy metal bent. Cages failed. The predators, once locked, once controlled, were free. They answered the call. Security feeds flooded the control room. Predator breach on level 7. Containment failure on level 4. They're moving toward the arena. The Galactic Council watched the screens in horror. They had built this station to study fear. Now fear studied them. The High Observer turned slowly toward the data wall. "All predators are ignoring civilians," a technician said, confused. "They're targeting armed units only." The Observer felt cold. "They know," he whispered. "They understand sides." In the arena, alien soldiers regrouped. Their weapons powered back on, but their hands trembled. The girl stood between them and the cat. "Please," she said again, "don't hurt them." The soldiers hesitated. The cat growled low, not at the girl, but at the weapons. One soldier panicked and fired. The shot missed the cat. It hit the wall. That was enough. The albino cat roared. The sound rolled through the station like thunder. It was not wild rage. It was command. Every predator heard it. Every predator answered. The floor gates around the arena burst open. Massive shapes poured in, scaled, furred, horned. Creatures built to kill. They did not attack the girl. They surrounded her. A living wall. The soldiers backed away slowly, fear breaking their training. "This is impossible," one whispered. "They're organizing." The High Observer slammed his hand on the console. "Activate Purge Protocol," he shouted. "Wipe the arena." The station AI hesitated. "Protocol conflict," it replied. "High-risk biological bond detected." "Override it," the Observer screamed. The AI paused, then spoke again. "Override denied." Silence fell. The most powerful station in the sector had refused its masters. In the arena, the girl felt the ground vibrate. Predators stood shoulder to shoulder around her. Their eyes glowed, not with hunger, but with focus. The albino cat stood at the front, wounded, bleeding, unbroken. The girl reached up and touched its fur. "Please," she whispered. "No more fighting." The cat lowered its head. The predators behind it shifted. Growls faded. Claws retracted. Across the station, attack slowed, then stopped. The screens showed predators standing still, guarding corridors, blocking weapons, protecting escape routes for unarmed workers. The Galactic Council stared. "They're protecting civilians," someone said in disbelief. The High Observer felt his legs weaken. "This changes everything," he whispered. A transmission came through from a nearby fleet. "This is a warning," the alien commander said. "Human vessels are approaching." The room froze. "Ow," the Observer asked. The commander swallowed. The predators broadcasted the signal. The girl looked up suddenly. "What signal?" she asked. No one answered. The albino cat lifted its head and looked toward the stars beyond the station hall. Far away, human ships were changing course. They did not hear a call. They felt it. The bond. The girl hugged the cat tightly, tears running down her face. "I didn't want this," she whispered. The cat pressed its head against hers. The station fell quiet, not because the danger was gone, but because the galaxy was holding its breath. The predators had chosen, and so had humanity. The truth about humans. The Galactic Council was no longer in control. They sat in silence as predators guarded the station halls. Screens showed creatures standing at doors, blocking soldiers, allowing unarmed workers to pass. The albino cat remained in the arena, unmoving, its body still between the girl and every threat. This should not exist, the High Observer said quietly. Predators do not protect. A scientist slowly raised a shaking hand. Unless, they said, they were never just predators. The council turned. The scientist pulled up ancient data, old, ignored files taken from human history long ago. Records the galaxy had laughed at. Stories marked as primitive myths. On the screen appeared images. Wolves walking beside humans. Wild cats sleeping in human homes. Huge animals obeying small human children. The room grew cold. These creatures were once deadly, the scientist continued. Humans did not defeat them. Another image appeared. They befriended them. They shared food, the scientist said. They shared warmth. They shared trust. The High Observer stared. That is not dominance, he said. That is madness. No, the scientist replied. That is survival. In the arena, the girl gently cleaned the albino cat's wound with torn fabric from her clothes. She winced at the blood, but kept going. The cat watched her calmly, never moving away. Why does it listen to you? An alien commander asked her through the speakers. The girl looked up, confused. I don't know, she said softly. I just didn't want it to be alone. The words struck harder than any weapon. The scientist whispered, that's it. The council turned again. Humans evolved on a world filled with death, the scientist said. Predators everywhere. No claws. No armor. So how did they survive? The observer asked. The scientist swallowed. They connected with what scared them most. Silence fell. Across the station, predators responded to the girl's calm movements. Growls faded. Bodies relaxed. Fear drained away. This child isn't controlling them, the commander said slowly. She's stabilizing them. A warning suddenly flashed across every screen. Human fleet entering system. Panic erupted. They're here for her. They'll destroy us. This is an invasion. The High Observer stood, voice shaking. Open a channel, he ordered. A human face appeared on the screen. Calm, focused, angry. This station holds a human child, the human captain said. Return her. Now. The observer hesitated. She is dangerous. The human captain's eyes hardened. No, they said. You are. In the arena, the girl felt something change. The air felt heavy. The cat stood again, sensing danger. She looked up at the ceiling. They're scared, she whispered. The albino cat let out a low sound, not a growl. Agreement. The girl stepped forward past the wall of predators. They parted for her without question. I don't want anyone to get hurt, she said loudly. The words echoed through the arena. The predators sat down. Every single one. Across the station, every alert stopped. The High Observer collapsed back into his seat. This species, he whispered. They don't conquer worlds. The scientist finished the thought. They change them. The girl looked around at the creatures she had never meant to lead. She was not a weapon. She was not a queen. She was just human. And that was the most dangerous thing of all. A choice that shook the galaxy. The station drifted in silence. Human warships surrounded it now, dark shapes against the stars. Their weapons were powered but not firing. They were waiting. Inside the station, no one moved. Predators sat in the halls like statues. Soldiers stood frozen behind them. The albino cat remained beside the human girl, its massive body calm but ready. The Galactic Council faced a single truth. They cannot win. The High Observer stood slowly. His voice echoed through the chamber. This child has turned our greatest weapons against us, he said. We must decide. The council argued in whispers. Kill her. No, she's protected. Study her. That will start a war. The girl listened through the speakers, her small hands clenched. She stepped forward. I choose, she said. Every voice stopped. The albino cat lifted its head. The council stared. You choose? The observer asked. The girl nodded. I will go home, she said, and the predators go free. Gasps filled the chamber. Free, a council member shouted. They will destroy worlds. The girl shook her head. They won't, she said. They just don't want to be cages anymore. The predators stirred, as if they understood. The High Observer's eyes narrowed. And if we refuse? The albino cat growled, low, controlled. Outside, human ships powered weapons slightly higher. The message was clear. The High Observer closed his eyes. For the first time, he said, quietly, "The galaxy is afraid of being wrong." He opened them. "Release them." The command echoed through the station. Cages unlocked. Fields dropped. Control systems shut down. The predators stood, not to attack, but to leave. They moved toward hangar bays, guided by the albino cat. The girl followed, hand resting on its fur. Alien workers stepped aside in silence. No one dared stop them. At the hangar, a human shuttle waited. Its doors open. The girl stopped and turned back. She looked at the council cameras. "You should remember this," she said softly. "Humans don't need to rule." She paused. "We just don't forget." She stepped onto the shuttle. The albino cat hesitated. Then it turned and followed her. The hangar doors closed. The shuttle launched. Across the galaxy, news spread like fire. The predators were freed. The child walked away. The council yielded. The High Observer sat alone in the chamber. "We didn't lose a battle," he whispered. "We lost our understanding of power." The station's lights dimmed, and somewhere in the stars, humans prepared to rewrite the rules. Not with fear, but with loyalty. Humanity's silent power. The galaxy did not explode into war. That was the first surprise. Human fleets withdrew slowly from the station, not firing a single shot. The predators did not attack any worlds. The Galactic Council was left standing, alive, shaken, and forever changed. The station became quiet. Too quiet. The High Observer watched the last human ship disappear into the stars. He felt older than ever before. "They could have destroyed us," he said to the empty chamber. But they didn't. Months passed. Across the galaxy, strange reports began to spread. Predator species once feared as monsters were no longer attacking without reason. Some guarded trade routes. Some followed human explorers. Some simply vanished into deep space, free at last. And always, the same detail appeared. A human had been there first. On Earth, the girl returned home. She was not treated as a hero. She went to school. She laughed. She slept with the albino cat, curled at her feet. People called it her pet. They did not understand. The cat was not a pet. It was family. Far away, alien leaders studied human history again. This time, they did not laugh. They saw farmers working beside animals stronger than machines. Children walking without fear among creatures built to kill. Humans placing trust where logic said none should exist. One council member finally said the words no one wanted to hear. Humans do not dominate predators. They become part of the pack. New laws spread through the galaxy. No human child would ever be tested again. No predator bonded to a human would be caged. Human presence required caution, not because of weapons, but because of influence. The High Observer wrote the final report himself. Human strength is not in firepower. It is in connection. They turn enemies into allies without asking permission. Years later, a young alien cadet asked a question in class. "Why are humans so dangerous?" The instructor paused. "Because," they said, "when humans care, the universe listens." The albino cat grew older. It no longer roared. It watched stars from a quiet hill. The girl, now older too, sat beside it. She scratched behind its ear. "You did good," she whispered. The cat closed its eyes. Somewhere far away, a Galactic Council chamber still kept a single rule carved into its wall. Not a warning. A lesson. Do not test humans with monsters. They have been friends with them since the beginning. And that was how the galaxy learned the truth. Humanity did not need to be loud. Their power was silent, and it was everywhere,